Okay, hello guys. Today I have the NP-01 from Vaxee, Zygen. Well, I received it today and costed me around 78 bucks, I think, including shipping. And I would say it's a very good mouse, small hand. Compared to my G Pro Wireless, it's shorter, and my hand size is almost 19 by 8.5, 9.5-ish. It's not that big, like medium sized, and I can claw grip this, and I would say it's like the perfect size. Overall, shape is great. The hump is, I have the Xm1 too here. The hump on Xm1 is more of like, it's the point where it touches your palm. It's like around, there's only one point where for both G Pro Wireless and NP-01, they're almost flat, so it fills up your whole palm. I personally prefer that. That's why I don't use the Xm1, even though it's a good shape. I just don't feel as confident compared to these mice. Obviously, the hump is brought back on the Zygen. I also have G900 here. I would say the hump is actually similar to the G900, but more rounded and more stronger, more aggressive. So when it comes to clicks, there's like very tiny bit of pre-travel, I guess, just a little bit. I actually, yeah, just a little bit, and there's no post-travel, and the clicks are pretty good. Side buttons, they're good. I would say it's closer to the I don't know. Feels nice still. I can't really describe compared to any other mice, but feels nice. The feet are 2 large feet, and you can change DPI, polling rate, and click latency. 248. I use 2, but I heard that 4 works the best. Coming back to the shape, I like it a lot. It's ergo, but not ergo. I think I still think that S2 is better. I don't know what makes it worse. Actually, I would say it's the rounded hump over here. I personally think it doesn't help it, but like for people who grab their mouse tilted like this way, I think it helps. But when it comes to like just regular people who are used to symmetrical mice, I don't think this works. I would rather go with the S2, because first of all, the coating is kind of slippery. I would say it's in between matte and glossy. So when I grab it and I place my pinky in the middle where the hump starts, and middle of game when I sweat, it just gets like, it just goes to the back. It doesn't have like a tight grip like G Pro Wireless or Xm1. Xm1 has the best coating out of all mice, but yeah, this one is very slippery. I can just slide around. So when I'm actually focused in game, I notice that my grip changes all the time because it's so slippery and I can't get a consistent grip on it. Still, I think it's a good mouse, and if you're a type of person who uses grip tape like lizard skin, I think this works, but adding that would make it like 79 grams, which is way heavier than any lightweight mice on the market. Still, it doesn't feel that heavy. Heavier than the Xm1, but I think it's playable. It gives the good balance. But the cord. So I'm pretty sure there are people who are thinking it's pretty stiff. Yeah, it is stiff, but it's still playable. you can still feel it, unlike the paracord, but I would say it's playable. For people who didn't experience paracord, I don't think it would bother that much. But people who did, they're probably thinking, I'm just gonna swap it out to paracord, right? I don't think it's as easy because I actually try to open it up. You don't have to take off the top feet to open up the mouse. You have to take up the bottom. There are 2 screws, but then they're not regular screws. They're actually triangular. So you need a separate screwdriver for it. It's to prevent actually people open up the mice. And I couldn't open it up because I actually didn't have it. I'm pretty sure there's a way to open it up with screwdrivers, but I didn't risk it as I'm just gonna be returning it. My copy actually has like a bit of like flex when I press it down or move it like side to side. There's a bit of like side shell flex here in the back, and that squeak actually bothers me a lot in game. So I decided to return it because I really don't. It bothers me in game. Just think about it. If your mouse shell moves and your base of your mouse is staying still, I think that would affect your aim. Just overall, it's a nice mouse, but for me, because I got a defective copy and I sweat a lot. Not a lot, but I would still sweat. So my hands just won't stay on it. Also, just to point it out, the coating on the buttons and the shell is different. It almost has like a gun grip, but it's even more slippery than the actual coating. I don't know why they would change it. If they just went with the regular Zowie matte coating, I think it would have been great. I would have just got a replacement and just used it. But the coating, I personally think it sucks. It's already glossy enough. I don't know why they're launching another glossy version in 2021. It's already glossy enough, and people who don't sweat, it's gonna be like a gel. Like it's gonna stick onto their hand. But for me, because I sweat, it's really slippery. I can't really get a consistent grip. I just slide around. Other than that, I don't think there's anything to point out. It's a great mouse, and the shape is good, I think, but I would just prefer the S2, because I don't like to rest my pinky on the back, all the way back here, and obviously that's extra weight, and there's no point of having it, because I like when mice are thinner than thicker. I just feel like I personally have more control over it when I have thinner mice than a thicker ones. And this one is, I think it's way too thick for me. Like even Xm1's thinner. It feels thinner for me. When you're actually buying the mouse, I would recommend so you get the 0.6mm feet by paying $4 extra instead of the 0.4. You can see it is very thin. So I use Hand Soft, and pressing down into it would touch the bottom of the mouse, which would not give a pleasant feeling. So that's one thing to point out again. And they really did a good job like holding their stress relief. It really like holds the cable, and I think that makes up the fact that the cord is actually stiff, but then this stock relief actually makes it feel a little better. So that's a good thing that they did. But there is going to be another shape getting announced in November, and I'll see if I like that or not. And if they do improve on the coating and the shape gets better, I'll probably do a review on that too. But the glossy one, I don't know. Like, it's already glossy enough, I think. It's in between matte and glossy. And if you're a type of person who like grabs onto the mouse depending on the like based on their coating, because there are people who like instead of like just softly grabbing it, there's actually people who are like they rely more on their coating and stickiness when they grab their mouse. And I personally think this won't work for them. And people who say if they make a smaller mice of this, they would buy it. It's already small enough. I don't think going smaller than this, there's no point of it. Just go buy the Hottie S or any other smaller mice, Ultralight 2, for your fingertip. I don't know. This is already small enough for me. Like if you just see, I'm 19 centimeter long, and I'm literally at the end of the mouse. So with claw gripping, so I don't know what they're thinking, but it's big enough. It's a small to medium hand size, so it's basically S2, but with the ergonomic shape on the right side. And people who are like used to symmetrical, I don't recommend risking it. If you're a type of person who both use ergo and symmetrical and you like both, go for it. I think it's a good mouse if you're in that case. For people who sweat a lot, don't buy it. It's very slippery unless you're gonna put skin on it, which is additional weight. And I just personally don't recommend it.